Hi all, another great player had her birthday yesterday, Pia Cramling. Let's have a look at a game she played in 1991 against Stefan Kindermann. So this is in the Hamburg tournament, round 11. D4 from Pia. Knight f6, we have a Gruenfeld defense. C takes, this is the main line of the Gruenfeld. Bishop g7, bishop c4. Black castles, knight e2. b6, and now very exciting move. Guess what white plays in this position? If I give you 5 seconds. Okay, h4. Yes, I like this sort of move. Very attacking. Knight c6, bishop d5, queen d7. We have h5. So very dangerous activation of this rook. We have e6, the bishop drops back, bishop a6, hg. Now black plays here h takes g, and it might actually be safer to take with the f pawn. I know this looks terrible, you're taught to capture towards the centre, but it seems here that, and also that pawn seems weaker, but it seems here, for example, I'll show you an example variation like this, protecting e6, and say black has knight a5 now. So just in time to snap off that bishop, so that e6 isn't a big deal. And then even queen b5. This is starting to be dangerous for white, and if white's best there is just to offer the exchange of queens, this endgame might be slightly better for white, but it's not that bad for black either. But in the game we have h takes g. So how dangerous is this position? We have knight f4 now. And you see the knight's putting pressure on the pawn chain here. The pawn chain seems to be under great scrutiny. Black played rook fd8 here, which doesn't do anything for e6 support. Guess what white plays in this position? If I give you 5 seconds to pause the video, white play here. Okay. Knight takes e6, a lovely knight sack, and now the point, queen g4, threatening bishop takes e6 to win the queen. We have bishop c8, but now another pawn is taken, and it looks as though there are big threats emerging. Black played now knight takes d4, trying to get some counterplay. White now actually plays rook h3. It might have been possible to call black's bluff here with c takes, because if the queen takes, the bishop's guarding d1, and actually we can just let the rook go with rook h3. So for example, this is very dangerous for black, where the rook swings across to f3, and this is just going to be a winning position. But in the game actually, rook h3 was immediately played with some of the same ideas of using rook f3. And in fact, black took on b3 here, which means rook f3 is now possible without knight takes. Black's threatening immediately queen d1 here, checkmate. But it's white's turn. Check, check, and the queen goes in front here, because if king e7, yeah, the queen went in front. If king e7, there's a check with bishop a3, which means that the rook can now use the d file, the d1 square. For example, like this will be winning the queen here, and that's hopeless. And if knight d4 there, of course, we've got, for example, a pin. Pin's pawn, we can play rook takes d4. That's crushing. So basically, yeah, the queen had to go in front. And actually bishop h6, even stronger than taking on f7, exploiting the pins. Short-term and long-term problems with pins. So queen takes g7 here is threatened because of the pinned queen. So this is a way of getting the most material. Queen takes f3. Queen takes g7 check. Now taking the queen. Knight takes a1. So tokenly black has a material balance. But white now plays bishop g5 threatening mate. We have knight c2 check. King f1, and here the game ended. It is pretty futile for black. If rook d7 then queen g8. there's nothing after the check. The best move the engines give is knight e3. It's just hopeless. Okay, that can be just taken, and then fun will carry on after this with e5 to stop the king escaping. Yeah, it's just hopeless for black. So we'll go to where the game ended. So king f1. So yeah, a nice hack attack game. And let me show you an alternative defense, just in case you thought, was white a bit lucky that rook e8 wasn't played. It seems actually engine assessment gets to be terminal even here. I'll give you an example variation for the attacking player. e5, so there's still pressure on e6 and g6. Let's say rook ad8, let's say rook h3, knight e7 looks logical to celebrate f5, queen g4, but this position, it seems, with knight d4 threatened, white reinforces the centre first, reinforcing d4, and it seems as though this position, black doesn't have enough time to blast through the centre, because knight takes g6, queen takes g6, it's still terminal. For example, queen takes f5 is threatened, so if c4 to unpin the e6 pawn. This position is going downhill after g4. If black doesn't play c5 to c4 there, c4, say queen f7, then here white has rook h8 check, winning the queen. So yeah, it seems actually pretty hopeless, whatever way it's played in this position, because g4 is coming anyway as well. Yeah, this position, king f8, g4, whereas the knight going, it's just getting very, very dangerous. Well, we'll be regaining material soon. So yeah, it seems as though even though black seemed to neglect the soft spots, it was a very, very good attacking position in any case. So knight takes e6, this just crashed through in the game. Very nice attacking win there. So happy birthday to Pia Ann Cramling. That birthday was yesterday from the time of this video. This was the final position. Nice attacking game. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Comments, questions, likes, shares appreciated. Thanks very much.